It's just one bad game, right? But here's the thing, Angel Reese's rough night didn't just cost the Sky a win. It might have just opened the door for Caitlyn Clark to steal the spotlight in the WNBA playoffs. How does one game have this much impact? Stick around, because we're diving deep into this WNBA shakeup.
Minescu brought help over on Kennedy. Carter going in underneath, and that was the chance.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. One game can change everything, especially when it's as bizarre as this. Picture this, a player dominates the box score, gets named player of the game, and still manages to sink her team's playoff hopes. Welcome to Angel Reese's wild ride. You might think star players always shine, but Angel Reese's performance in this crucial game for the Chicago Sky is about to redefine what it means to have an off night. Let's break it down, and trust me, these numbers are going to make your head spin. Reese finished the game shooting a dismal 33.3% from the field, going 4 for 12.
That's off all screen, so she's not getting any easy looks.
Reese, short. And they play some beautiful basketball. Again, no Brianna Stewart today. Chicago's missed 7 straight.
But that's not even the worst part. She missed 8 layups. 8. We're talking about the easiest shot in basketball, and Reese couldn't convert. It's like watching a chef burn toast. It just shouldn't happen at this level. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but maybe the whole team was off their game. Well, here's where it gets interesting. While Reese was struggling, her teammate Carmela Coso was out there showing how it's done. Coso shot 5 of 6 from the field, racking up 14 points in 7 fewer minutes than Reese. Talk about efficiency. But here's where things take a turn for the bizarre.
Reese spinning, and as the shot clock expired, Allen just blew by Burke, but couldn't get the floater to go. Angel Reese.
Despite her struggles, Angel Reese was named player of the game. Yeah, you heard that right. With 12 points and 16 rebounds, Reese got the nod, even though her team took the L. It's like giving an award for participation in a championship game. This disconnect between individual stats and team success is raising some serious eyebrows. Reese's numbers might look good on paper, but they didn't translate to a win for the Sky. It's got fans and analysts questioning the team's entire strategy. Are they playing to win or just to pad stat sheets? Some critics are even suggesting that Reese's performance might be a symptom of bigger problems within the Chicago Sky organization. One insider didn't pull any punches, saying, Angel Reese desperately needs to have her ass in the gym working on layups, working on her short game, and she's not doing it. Ouch! That's the kind of criticism that stings, especially when your playoff hopes are on the line. The WNBA is a wild ride, and sometimes one team's stumble is another sprint to the finish line. Enter Caitlyn Clark, the rookie who's been turning heads all season. But could she really capitalize on the Sky's misfortune and lead the Fever to their first playoff spot since 2016? The answer might surprise you. While Angel Reese was having a nightmare on the court, Caitlyn Clark was busy making dreams come true for the Indiana Fever. Remember when everyone said Clark couldn't hang with the pros? Well, she's about to prove them all wrong in the most spectacular way possible. Let's rewind a bit. Before the Sky's meltdown, the Fever were on the bubble, fighting tooth and nail for a shot at the playoffs. They hadn't tasted postseason action since 2016, and fans were hungry for a change. Enter Caitlyn Clark, the rookie sensation who's been lighting up scoreboards and dropping jaws all season long. Now, you might be thinking, sure, she's good, but can one rookie really change a team's fate? Buckle up, because that's exactly what Clark did. While Reese was missing layups left and right, Clark was seizing every opportunity that came her way. It's like watching a chess master while everyone else is playing checkers. Clark's not just good under pressure, she thrives on it. When the stakes are high, she's at her best. And with the Sky fumbling their chance, Clark stepped up and led the Fever to that coveted playoff spot. It's not just about making shots, it's about making the right plays at the right time. And Clark, she's got that down to an art form. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's impact goes way beyond just winning games. She's been named the undisputed Rookie of the Year, and let me tell you, it's not even close. This isn't just some participation trophy, it's recognition of a player who's changing the game. You know how some rookies take time to adjust to the pros? Not Clark. She hit the ground running and never looked back. One insider put it perfectly. You have to watch one Caitlyn Clark game and one Angel Reese game to see how much more Clark affects the game. It's not just about stats, it's about presence, leadership, and the ability to make everyone around you better. Now, let's talk about what this means for the Fever's future. Clark isn't just a flash in the pan, she's the foundation they're building on. With her at the helm, the Fever aren't just thinking about making the playoffs, they're dreaming of championships. It's like they found their secret weapon, and the rest of the league is scrambling to keep up. But here's the kicker, Clark's success isn't happening in a vacuum. The WNBA is all about interconnectedness. One team's loss is another's gain, and Clark and the Fever pounced on the opportunity the Sky handed them. It's a domino effect, and Clark just knocked over the first piece. Think about it, if Reese had nailed those layups, if the Sky had clinched that playoff spot, we might be telling a different story. But sports are unpredictable, and that's what makes them so thrilling. Clark didn't just step up, she leaped, soared, and dunked on everyone's expectations. Clark's meteoric rise is only half the story. On the flip side, the Chicago Sky's playoff hopes have gone up in smoke. Is this just a case of bad luck, or is there something more sinister at play in the Windy City? You might think Reese's off night was just a blip, but the Sky's problems run deeper than you'd expect. Let's take a closer look at the numbers that tell the real story. The Sky's recent record? A dismal 2-8 in their last 10 games. That's not just a slump, that's a nosedive. But it's not just about the losses, it's about how they're losing. The Sky's coaching and overall strategy have come under fire, and for good reason. When your team's falling apart at the seams, you've got to wonder, is it time for a change at the top? And let's talk about those recent trades. Remember when Marina Mabrey packed her bags? She didn't just leave with her gear, she took a piece of the team's chemistry with her. Mabrey didn't mince words when she said the Sky lacked a cohesive vision for winning. That's not just shade, that's a spotlight on a bigger problem. Now you might be thinking, okay, but every team has rough patches, right? Sure, but this isn't just a patch, it's a full-blown crisis. The fans are furious, and can you blame them? They've watched talent after talent slip through the Sky's fingers in recent drafts. It's like watching your favorite restaurant ignore a line of world-class chefs knocking at the door. But here's where it gets really interesting. There's a theory floating around that the Sky's struggles aren't just bad luck. Some insiders are whispering that there's a method to this madness. One critic didn't pull any punches, saying, "You cannot tell me the Angel Reese padding her stats situation is not calculated. The Sky is trying to manufacture a superstar and it's killing their team." Think about that for a second. Are the Sky so focused on creating a star that they're willing to sacrifice wins? It's like they're playing chess while the rest of the league is playing basketball. And guess what? It's not working. The result of all this drama, the Chicago Sky are mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. That's not just a disappointment, it's a full-blown disaster for a team that was supposed to be contending for titles. So what's the real story here? Is it bad coaching, poor roster management, a misguided focus on individual stats over team success? The truth is, it's probably a mix of all these things. The Sky's fall from grace isn't just about one bad game or one struggling player. It's about a team that's lost its way, from the front office all the way down to the court. And here's the kicker, while the Sky are spiraling, other teams are rising. We've seen how Caitlyn Clark and the Fever capitalized on this opportunity. It's like watching a game of musical chairs, and the Sky just lost their seat at the playoff table.